I hope you're not running for your life, Brad, or running from your bookie. Yeah, I hope you're not running from your bookie. Welcome into the Let's Talk More Action Final Four edition at letstalkmoreaction.live. For my co-host, Brad Shoulders, I'm Trevor Lutke. Oh, Brad, it's all come down to this, and it's all chalky. A lot of chalk, a lot of dust all over the place because it's 4 number 1 seeds for the first time since 2008 and Kansas beating Memphis.
I know there's a lot of people that like the Cinderella story, but I'm one of the guys that likes the 4 best teams left in the tournament are all chalk because I think we're going to get some good games and we're going to see some potentially, I don't know, how many NBA players you think are represented by these 4 teams? I think quite a bit. So I think it's going to be interesting basketball. I think there's going to be some ebbs and flows to these games where you might think, oh, man, this thing's over, and then all of a sudden a team's going to come roaring back. So I think we're in for a hell of a weekend myself. Wish I could go.
I would agree with you here. I love the Cinderella story till we get to about the Elite 8, and then I'm kind of like, now I want to see some chalk. Not always do I want to see the number 1s, but the number 1s have delivered in this tournament, and they deserve to be here. And that's why I think we're in store for one heck of a Saturday night.
I'm with you.
So what do you got planned? What do you got planned?
Well, as of right now, I think my wife works, so I'm technically a bachelor that night. So I might just roam the fields and go to a couple different parties that I'm aware of. So we'll just see how it unfolds. The goal, though, is to be back by halftime in the second game, to be back on my couch, though, because other than that, I'm probably looking at a DUI. Even though I own a cab company.
And you own the local cab company. So we preach safety here at Let's Talk More Action.live. And that safety is get yourself home safe after you've had a great Final Four Saturday night. Please, everyone. And if you have to and you live in Ottawa, LaSalle, Peru, Illinois, use City Cab to get there. Thank you. So
thanks for appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, why not for the free plug? We still don't have a sponsor. I'm still waiting for you to sponsor your own show.
Yeah, I might have to look into that. Let's see how I do on this tournament when it's all said.
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So here's the show rundown. We're basically, you got 2 games. This is a 20-minute show. It's Let's Talk More Action, and it's also Let's Talk More Action on TikTok because it's Let's Talk More Action 1 on TikTok. But the reason the show is called that is because we want action. So that's what we're going to give you over the next 20 minutes. So let's get right into it. We waste no time here on the show. So again, show's live. This will be posted on Friday. So let's get right into it. Let's take a look at Florida-Auburn, Saturday, 5:09. I wish personally this was the second game, Brad, but it's the first game, and I think it is going to be awesome. I really do. So Florida and Auburn. Florida 34-4, Auburn 32-5. They've met once before, Florida winning 90-81. Honestly, I think we're looking at almost a repeat of the same game. I don't think it gets as high or as crazy, but I definitely think this is going to be a higher scoring game. What do you think?
Let me give you a little tidbit I picked up in the last couple of days doing a little research on this game. 11 times in the Final Four, 2 teams have met prior in the season. The team that has won that game the last time they played each other during the season that met in the Final Four, they're 7-4 against the spread. Now, is that going to make a difference here or there? Who knows? But I tell you what, we talked about this earlier before we got on live here. Florida has yet to put 2 halves together. They are an outstanding basketball team. They deserve to be here, but they have had to come back a couple of times in this tournament just to get here. But the thing in this tournament, it's survive and advance, which they've done to a T. If they put 2 halves together instead of 1 and then having to play off the shoot of their pants on the other half, there's a good chance they win this game going away. That's what I feel.
Okay, so you and I are on the same page. I think Florida at -2.5 is a gift. I think 160, it's probably right where it should probably be. I do still feel like it gets over the total, but that might be an uneasy kind of feeling. But the 2.5, Brad, I'm with you. I think Florida's going to put 2 consecutive halves together. And I also just like the fact that their guard play is sensational. You have Elijah Martin, you have Will Richard, you have Clayton, you have Connaughton down in the low block. I mean, they've got some guys that really can play. And to me, Janiah Broome getting hurt the other night, I mean, that injury was ugly, man. That was ugly.
And to his credit, he came back, he battled through it, but he wasn't the same player when he came back. And who knows what he's going to be like, Saturday. And if he's not on his A game, boy, Auburn really doesn't have a chance without him. And so we don't know what he's going to be. Chances are he's not 100%. I mean, there's a good chance he's not 100%. So Broome not at 100%. Auburn trying to beat Florida in this game. I don't see it.
Okay. So we know that the 2.5, we're on the same page. We both like Florida here and the Florida Gators to cover. I think they actually do it by maybe you could take an alt line here, maybe even by 6 or 7. It might be worth it, but let's get inside the game. We're going to give you a few prop plays at the same time. Brad's got a few gems, so I'm going to let him start there, and then I'm going to pick it up because I always think, like, if this game – okay, so I always look at it like this too, Brad. If we think that the game goes over the total, you have to respect the 3, and Florida shoots the 3 really well. So I'm going to get into that on my side of the discussion. Where are you starting?
I'm going to start with Miles Kelly, who's Auburn's main three-point shooter when he's on, and he's had laid a couple of eggs the last couple of games, and I just like the percentages that a good shooter having a couple of bad games, he's due to come out, and he's due to come out in a big way. And his point total is over 12.5, and I could see him going over that. He's due, and big players play big games on big stages, and I think he's ready to break out right now. So pair that up with something that you have on your side of the coin.
Well, we try to kind of sometimes stay away from the parlay, but I mean, so his individual totals over 12.5. If you go to 10, so where we find this again, now it shifted on me. Okay. So again, we find this at the top. Once you click inside the game, you find it up here at the top. Player points, at least for now, is one of the places we're looking at going. And so you can scroll across the top. This is to score 10 points. Here's what Brad's saying is Miles Kelly to get 10 is minus 176. Now, his individual total, if you find the total, like he said, is over 12.5. But if you're trying to have fun with your friends and it's the Final Four and everybody's probably having a drink or two, you might have some liquid courage in you to say, you know what? Brad said to take this guy maybe over 12. Why not try to go over 15 and get it at plus 220? Because he has been streaky, but streaky hot. And you get it at plus 220. So again, if we're here and one unit is 25 for us, paying back 55. So Brad, I know you stick to the 12.5. We try to kind of stay away from the parlays late in the season like this, but we are going to put one together for you. So if he's on this, I'm on 3-pointers. Now, Brad, I'm going to just tell you something. Florida shoots a ton of threes. They shoot a shit ton of threes. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Is Elijah Martin or Will Richard, one of the two, because they're going to be focused on Walter Clayton. Elijah Martin and Will Richard can hit the 3, and they can hit it at an electric rate, okay? So when you come inside the game flow, and if you take a look at what I was looking at statistically and how much these guys decide to shoot the 3, when you look at it, Elijah Martin and Will Richard, Elijah Martin ranks second on the team. He's taken 217. Will Richard's taken 213. Both have made 76. One of these two guys is going to find their stride in this game and hit 3, maybe 4 threes. I like this guy, Will Richard. He can launch it. Now, for some reason, as odd as this is looking, it doesn't want us to parlay our selections. Why?
Good question. Good question. That this FanDuel, this interface needs a facelift to one of these off seasons. It really does. I don't like sometimes getting around this site. I just don't like it, but it is what it is.
Okay. So here's the thing. If we're going to play it individually, 25 for 55, 25 for 65. Again, you're trying to make some money, but you're also not, Brad, putting us at a lot of risk this late in the game. It is the Final Four. These games are going to be probably pretty competitive. So you could go here, or you can go Elijah Martin, and you can go 25 there, and that's still a $60 payout. So all of these pay out pretty good, but Brad's play to you guys is at the 12.5. I'm just giving you a little bump to get to the 15 points up here. Some possible threes by Elijah Martin, or again, Will Richard. The favorite for this whole thing to do this is obviously Walter Clayton Jr. He's at minus 136. But again, that payday not as great. If you're putting 25 on him, it's only returning 1838. So, Brad, you got anything else on this game if we're looking at a Florida win and cover?
No, that's basically where I'm at with that. I will tell you this too. Over the last 20 years, the team with the worst odds has only won the title once, and that was UConn back in 2014. And right now, Auburn sits as the worst odd to win the Final Four at plus 500. Duke's at 105, Florida's at 300, Houston's at plus 400, Auburn's plus 500. So the odds makers don't like Auburn. You know, it kind of goes along with what we're saying as far as playing Florida and taking, you know, and laying the points, because I think they're going to come through. I really do. Auburn, boy, I tell you, they are streaky as they come. They are, so they can scare you. But with Broom being out of there, I'm with Florida. I think we don't need to beat it down as a dead horse. I think it is what it is.
Okay, so here's what Brad's talking about. So if you're going to do this, though, and you want the national championship play, when you go inside FanDuel and inside this, right at the top, it says March Madness, Reigning Buckets, National Champion. You click on the National Champion, and we'll get back into this here in a second, but this will be where you find it. And again, what Brad's saying, too, is when you look at what the double – look at like some of these odds of double chances, like who's going to make it. You know, you look at the Conference of Champions. You look at like, is it ACC, SEC, who wins it? You know, it is interesting to see right here odds for Auburn to win the national title at 550. But again, that's the same thing you have up here at the top. So you don't have to get too deep into this. But I agree with you, Brad. I think it's Florida, and not by a large margin, but I definitely think that Auburn and Johnny Broom, if he's hurt, I think that's all she wrote for all the Auburn. So now we get into the I got to pull this up. We're going to get into the Duke-Houston game. Both of these games on CBS. The next one's supposed to be at 7:50. We know that'll probably lag behind, which gives you a chance to have an extra margarita, bourbon, or a safe ride home, Brad, in between games. So Houston Duke. This is a pretty big spread for a Final Four game between two number one teams, don't you think?
It is. Now let me throw you another crazy stat out there. You realize that since 2020, Houston has only been an underdog 6 times since 2020, and they are 5-1 against the spread when they've been an underdog. Is that not
all right?
freaky?
Hold on. Nah, pull this up again. Okay, you just blew my mind because that is where I don't know where you get this stuff from, but what is this again?
Digging. I've been digging for the stats. Houston has only been an underdog 6 times since 2020. And in those 6 games, they're 5-1 against the spread. I just thought that was a very interesting stat. A lot of that goes to the conference they're in. They don't play anybody. Of course, they're going to be the favorite, you know. Then they come into the NCAA tournament. A lot of times they're a 1 or a 2 seed, so of course they're laying points. But they have only been an underdog 6 times since 2020, and they are 5-1 in those games against the spread.
That's an insane statistic. It really is. It speaks volumes for the program. It speaks volumes for what they've been able to do and what they've been able to accomplish. And they have. I mean, they've been a fantastic team. At times, you saw it the other day with Tennessee. Holy crap, did that get ugly quick. Like, just such a grind. And you and I mean, I enjoy good defense. I mean, you know, I enjoy the sport of soccer. And soccer is hardly any scoring whatsoever, or if at all. But this Houston team can lock you down.
I know I used to play YBA basketball. You know, us old retired guys, that's what we do. There was a guy in the league, his nickname was Gunk, and you hated it when Gunk was on you, man, because he's the same age as me, but he keeps himself in shape, runs 5 miles a day, and he is up in you the whole time playing defense. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to play a little YBA here, hit a couple 3-point, get off me. Gunk, the entire Houston team plays defense like Gunk does, and that ain't what you want.
No, and they're phenomenal. And that's why this total is 135.5, and it scares the daylights out of me because if Duke, I mean, they're going to grind this thing. They are going to, I mean, they are all break, no gas. And I love all gas, no break. And this is going to be Kelvin Sampson has, I mean, he's been an unbelievable coach, and you got to give him a lot of credit. So let's try to go into this game. But I think this thing gets ugly, not from a perspective of somebody's going to blow somebody out. I would not take, I will tell you this right now, I would not be putting a ton of money on an over. If you're putting the money on the over, I would be very, very financially cautious here is what I basically am saying, because I don't know how this is going to go. And we saw what they did the other day to Tennessee, and Tennessee's not like they're not a terrible team. So let's get into this. So you have come up with some very intriguing plays for our audience. So start us off.
Okay. I would say this before I get into the player props, I am the teaser king for the last few weeks. That's all I've been playing on here. And I am going to throw this one out just because we're into the second game now. But I'm going to tease Florida, and I'm going to tease Duke down. And I think that's a decent bet there. So we'll start there. That's my teaser play. I know you like Florida straight up against the spread, and that's a great play too. But again, for those guys like me that like to tease,
okay,
play that.
Let's get back into this quick then. So what he's showing you is he wants Duke, or sorry, you want who? You want who? Duke?
Florida. I want Florida.
Yep.
Tease them down, and I want Duke. Tease them down.
Okay. So again, we're going to get into this. Brad has actually been good with his teasers. He hit a couple the other day. So you put them both in the window. Come down here to teaser. Now, FanDuel gives you an automatic 5, but here's the number. Here's the thing. It's 128. So it depends on how much Brad wants to lay. But here's the crucial part is the number's significant. The numbers are always important. So do you want to beef this up or pull it down, or what are you thinking? Because if you got 5, where would you go, up, down, or leave it alone?
I would pull it down a little bit so I can get a little bit better odds. I don't need 5,
okay.
Maybe a 4-point tease.
Okay, so if you change 4, you go from 128 to 113. And here's the thing, again, we've said about teasing is we try to go 2 units, 50 for 44.30. I like this a lot, Brad. Basically, here's what you're saying is Duke, be your best, go win the game. Florida, be your best, go win the game. You've taken the spreads out of both games. This is basically manipulating the line that Vegas thinks will happen. And I like what Brad's doing here. And the reason is he takes away the house advantage. And basically he's saying for the 2 elite teams, just beat your opponent, and then I win my wager.
Amen. That's my thought process exactly. Thank you for summing that up for me.
Now, give us this is I have to say this before I get into this. Hold on. This is the time in the show where I make a special announcement. It's like that remember that shooting star on NBC that used to be back in like the 80s, like the more you know?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the more you know. Yeah. This is the cautionary tale of what Brad's about to give us is don't try this at home for large quantities of money. So please indulge us with what you have.
Right. And we're just all about having fun here anyway. We're not talking about mortgaging the house. But I like Malwalk, right? I like Mollywalk, whatever you want to call him, the big boy in the middle for Duke. You know who he is. He's a game changer.
Yes.
I like him for over half an assist. And here's why. Your boys in Houston, they love to double the post. They're going to be doubling him when it gets dropped down in there. All he's got to do is kick it out one time to one of them guys shooting 3-pointer. And if they hit it, we're in. We got it. If he's going up for a dunk and he gets double teamed, he does a little loop around past the flag coming on the backside for a dunk. There's your assist. I don't care how he gets it. We only need one.
Here's what I need. I need you to assist me on how the hell you found how the hell did you find this play?
The way I found it is I just been the last couple times I've watched Duke, I thought,
I know, where's the play?
It's under assists. We found it
It's
earlier.
man,
We had
total
it.
assists. No, they have points and rebounds for him. Molly Watch. Okay.
Yeah, I got that on another play that I was going to throw out here too. He's under there
Okay, well, throw
somewhere.
out the other play, and I'll work on finding the assist. But what Brad's saying is if Molly Watch ends up getting the ball on a rebound like this, perfect example, his over/under 7.5 on rebounds, right? So what's interesting is he collects a lot of boards. He's going to get the boards. We think a higher scoring, or sorry, we think kind of good game flow, and Duke's got to shoot some threes, get the rebound, pass it out. Tyrese Proctor maybe hits a three, maybe Cooper Flagg hits the three, Con Knipple. So he's thinking, there's your assist.
Love it. That's it. So did you go under Did you go under assists up at the top?
I did, and it's not there. It's not there because they again FanDuel's. Here's the thing: is so when we're watching this, FanDuel's rearranging a lot of stuff right now. So like right now, look at this. Only assist they have is for Cooper Flagg.
Yeah. See, and earlier today it was under. I don't get it, man. The
It
only
is.
thing I can think of is if they're getting a ton of play on it, maybe they pulled it. I don't know.
Sure, they could have. Okay, give us the other two. Give us the other play that involves this. Then is if you get a chance and you're watching the show that you can log into your account and now it's put back up. Play Molly Watch over the half of an assist.
Yep. He had one last game. The two prior games he had none. So, I mean, it could go either way. It's just a fun little one to play. But I have him again, Molly Watch, over to 16.5 total points and rebounds. And I've got him parlayed. With my girl Paige on UConn, over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists, because I know there's some degenerates out here that are going to have the Final Four men's on, but they're going to kind of be watching the Final Four women's too when there's some downtime in the men's. So there you go. There you have it. Gives you some.
Oh my God.
You could turn the women's on just to appease your wife or your daughter that likes to play basketball. Make it look like you're interested in it, and you're really not. You're just interested in the stat line. I don't know.
This is how much this show just took a total turn because I have. Okay, so there's your play. Is Molly Watch over 16 points and rebounds. That's found up in the player combo section of the game. Okay, So player combo. What are you making me do here now?
Go to the women's. It's right down below. Go to the women's.
Well, and I like that easy.
Well, I know you. It sucks.
You got to come up here and you got to go to the lady. You got to go to the ladies right here at the NCAA women's, and then you go, huh? Who do you want?
Paige Beckers. Go to her combined stats.
Isn't this great? Everybody gets to see this live. That this is okay. We actually are navigating this pretty good. So player combos for her as well.
Yep. She's over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
So right here at the bottom, points, rebounds, and assists. I can't believe I just found this as fast as I did.
You did wonderful.
Okay, that's assists though.
Up at
here
the top.
She is. Points, rebounds, and assists. 35.5 right there. Okay. Hey, I got to navigate this.
You're great. You're doing great. But parlay those two. I mean, shit, she scored 40 in the game, just her points alone here a couple games ago. And big players come to play on the big stages. I just feel good about her, and I feel good about Melwalk. He's gonna get 10 boards, I think, anyway. So he only need 7 points in order to hit his number. So just something to have some fun with. That's what this is about.
It is. It's about that, but we try to bring we're trying to make our viewers some money, but here's the only thing is I love this Paige Beckers play. This is something you'll only see here at Let's Talk More Action.live because most of the people aren't going to give you insight like this. And I agree with you. I watched her the other night. She was phenomenal. And to get points, boards, and assists. And here's the thing, Brad, she's not leaving the court. So you might have found something here, a little nugget that you're going to give our audience that you won't see anywhere else at any other show.
You got to be a degenerate, though. You have to have it in your vein to play it. Because I know some of you guys just won't turn the girls on at all. But actually, UConn's fun to watch. And these Final Four, these are 4 good women's basketball teams right here. So it's worth it.
It is, and she is phenomenal. It was too bad with what happened to USC. Their star athlete blew out their ACL. That was terrible to watch. But so, all right, so you get some insight on Paige Becker's points, rebounds, and assists. And again, you find that under the women's. You have to click. I'm going to take you back up top so everybody can see this. You actually have to click on the women and on the UConn game. Then you come up to player combos, and that's how you get to here. And we did the same thing with Malawatch, where you do on player combos. He put the two together for a nice little parlay, 20 for 50. I mean, this could go easily. You could go 25 for 63.47, but it gives you a nice little 2.5 to 1 on your money and your return. So now that he's throwing me the curveball, I have to get back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity, said Eminem. So I'm going to go back to the men, and I'm going to give you my prop play. I'm not, Brad, here's the other thing. We got it. We know this. I'm not playing that Duke game. I'm just not. I'm going to find my props. I'm going to stick in this, and I'm going to play it. This is how I'm going to have my fun. Unless you think do you think there's do you think there's an advantage to playing the line, or maybe some insight you have that you'd be like, oh, I'll play the line or the over or the under?
On this Duke Houston game?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm all with you. I wouldn't touch the over under. I don't know which way that's going to go. And as far as the line itself, it might be a little rich if you play it straight up. You know, if you don't like the tease I played earlier, if you really are on Houston's back, you think that they could play such good defense, then do opposite of me and tease them up. I mean, they're getting 6.5, tease them up to 11.5. You think Houston can cover that? Put it in there. So it's one of those numbers that you can play either way and probably feel pretty good about. You know what I mean?
Yes. So, all right. So if, like you said, if you're looking for some action, I turn to the threes. I seem to like the threes during this tournament. I've done okay. I've been hitting. The interesting part is Cooper Flagg's the star. He's the name to know. But here's the thing is he doesn't shoot a lot of threes. He shot 131 during the season. Con Knipple shot 202, and Tyrese Proctor shot 216. But Proctor made 89, and he has caught fire in this tournament. And he's going to be a tough option in the perimeter to guard. So here's the thing: is they may put Emmanuel Sharp on him, and these two guys defensively aren't the best. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, if there's two guys that could now see, they're not going to let me parlay this. So inside the same game, player threes, they're just not going to let you do it. Whatever. Fine. My point is this. I think Tyrese Proctor can hit 3 threes, and you get plus 130 on this coming into this, and I think you get a nice payout at 25 for 32. The other guy, I mean, everybody's going to be focused on Cooper Flagg, and at the pace of the game and the way that it's going to slow down, I think you got to look around the book, and you got to try to find other plays and other alternatives than Cooper Flagg himself. So I'm coming here after I take a look at the Tyrese Proctor 3. Again, here we go. This is FanDuel. All they have is, again, that Cooper Flagg assist total. But if I'm going to give you something that you can't see right now is, so the next best guy was Con Knipple for assists. When they load this back up, if they have something per game, that would be about 4.5 to 5 rebounds for Knipple, maybe 6, I would take that. And that would be my two plays is Proctor over 3 plus threes and Knipple to go over 5 or 6 assists, however FanDuel decides to set the book. I'm going to take you back 1 second, Brad, and then we're going to give you our championship picks, the play, and we're out of here. I did want to mention that I do think a good player combo, when you take a look at this, you got to give me 1 second because I had it in the show for the rundown.
While you're looking at that, I like your Proctor pick. I really do because Kelvin Sampson's a great coach. I promise you, they've been practicing the fact that they're going to try their best to take Flagg out of the game. So that if you take Flagg out of the game, where's it take you to? Proctor and Knipple. So I like your angle there. I think it's a great angle because what do great coaches do? They try to take away what you do best, and what Duke does best is feed Flagg. So I like it. I like your angle there.
Okay. So, and thank you. I appreciate that because I do agree that Sampson's such a good coach. He will try to isolate flag, make other people beat him. In the meantime, The only reason I missed this, I think this is a strong play here because Thomas Howell he's just big on the interior. And if Janiah Broom is hurt in any way, shape, or form, Howell's going to have a big day taking it to him and getting his total points and rebounds at 18 and a half, I think is an absolute gift. I think this is the only challenge that has to happen here is how much does Alex Condon, how much does he get involved? But Howell can step back. He can hit a three. He's got great interior play. And so I just went back to the Florida game for a second because I unfortunately had overlooked this. And that was something else that I wanted to bring up in the show was I definitely think this guy has the ability to go over the total of total points and rebounds at only minus 111. So if you're putting 25, you're basically getting a return of 52 for a full return of somewhere in the range of 47, 48 bucks. So here's the end of the show.
He's a good player, man. He's a damn good player. And if Broom is not 100%, I believe Howell's going to smell a little blood in the water and want to take it to him. So another great find by you.
Thank
Swami.
You. And Swami. The Swami. And if we do, hey, it's that time in the show as we're going to give you our final four picks. We've already basically given you Florida. We've given you Duke on the teaser. Now we're going to tell you our national champion. But before we do, we have to tell you how we did last week during the Sweet 16, and it was back up the Brinks truck. We basically hit almost everything. We gave you Alabama against BYU. That was over at halftime. That was one of the biggest plays we had. We gave you Ole Miss. We had some Duke, Michigan over in there. I know we needed a little extra help on the Ole Miss game. But, Brad, we had a pretty good Sweet 16 weekend. So now how confident are you in your championship pick?
I'm sold out on it, man. I don't think anybody can play with Duke. I just don't. The way they play, they've got a bunch of future NBA players on that team. I think I seen a thing that they average six. They're 6'8" across the board height wise, so they're longer and taller and stronger than most teams. They've got the player of the year on the team. They've got Malwak, who's just a beast down low. They bring Shire's a great coach. They've got it all. They're beating everybody by 15 or 20 points. How can you not play Duke, man, to have them go all the way? I don't see how you could.
And this is the time of the show where Brad is going to give you that kind of play that is completely just protect your wallet at this point. Brad, you have a choice for the most valuable player of the tournament.
Yeah, anybody got $1 bill in their wallet they can get rid of? Because if you do, take a look at my boy Malwak. Plus 11. Put a $1 bill. Screw it. You got a $2 bill in the back of your
There's 10
dresser, huh? You
There's
got a $2.
10.
Okay, play 10. You're the man. Play 10. I was thinking about the guys that are, broker than who laid the rail right now, and they're scrambling to get on here. But $10, look what $10 brings in. And the reason, you're thinking, he can't. How's he going to be playing? Hey, man, if Houston loads up on Knipple and Flag, you're telling me that Malwak couldn't have a beautiful game there, and then that momentum couldn't carry him into the national championship? And if he gets in that national championship game after having a good, semifinal game, he's just going to keep the Momo going. And what the hell? Look at the payoff, man.
Hey, listen, we've tried to give people here's the thing is what we've done throughout this tournament, I think has been pretty cool. We've tried to teach you that, hey, listen, don't always take the favorites. Don't always take the ones that everybody else take the underdog in the Cinderella story, because that's what this tournament's all about. If I was going to take Duke to win the tournament, which I'm not, I would probably go Tyrese Proctor for a nice, oh man, no. What happened now? Okay, back to there. I don't know what that was. But 10 for 500. Because you said Proctor can hit the three. You like how, Kelvin Sampson will probably guard Flag, Knipple. I like trying to find an angle like you got Malawatch. I'm going to take Proctor if I thought Duke would win. But I don't think Duke's going to win, Brad. I don't think Duke's got the talent to beat the Florida Gators.
I
The
knew
Gators
it.
have been my team since the beginning, and they're still my team now. And 50 gives you 155 in return. Welcome to the swamp, Brad.
I'm with you. I mean, hey, I've said it on previous shows. Florida's got enough talent to do it, no doubt about it. No doubt. But they haven't put two halves together, so we'll see. If they can put two halves together, they're going to go by Auburn. Then they're going to run into the Dukies, man. And look at it this way. If we get a Duke-Florida final, what a game that's going to be, man. Get the bourbon ready, clear the basement, and you know what I'm saying? Get the stripper pole because you're going to have a hell of a show.
Hey, easy. It's a family show. It's a family show. Don't get that ready just yet. That's if the Bills start flying, right? That's if the Bills. But here's what I got. To Brad's point, if he thinks Duke's going to win the national title, who could possibly be an MVP? You find it up here in awards, right here in the awards section, and you Final Four most outstanding valuable player. So again, Cooper Flagg is supposed to be that guy, but it doesn't pay you anything. So for $2, Brad's like, why not, dude? Throw something down, have some fun, and here's the thing is, Brad, if you hit that, you would have Brad. I don't care from now till the rest of the time the show would exist. You would have bragging rights that you called that some way, somehow. So here's the thing. I think Florida wins it. So if Florida wins it, I want to dig deep. I want to find somebody that you can put some money on to say we called it. And that would be this guy. Will Richard has been around the block. He can play. And for $10, you're returning $430 for him to be your MVP. And the thing is, he could easily do it. He shoots the three. He's outstanding from behind the perimeter. Defense can get a little suspect at times. But again, to Brad's point, 43-1, or you come down here to our boy Thomas Howell, and he has the same thing that Brad had on Malawatch, 10 for 1,100. Now again, play responsibly. That's what we preach on this show. Let's Talk More Action at letstalkmoreaction.live. Play responsibly. Play within your budget. If this is only a $4 play, whatever, it's $440. For two, it's $220. These guys are long shots. But here's the thing is, I don't remember who it was, Brad, but who won the NBA MVP? The NBA MVP like a year or two ago, or a couple of years ago. It was Andre Iguodala. The dude was like
the Finals MVP. You're saying?
Yes,
yeah, I got you.
Yes,
yeah.
he was literally 250-1. He was something crazy, and somebody had $5 on it, and it won him like I don't know $5,000. So why not us? Why not some of these guys like Malawatch, Howe, Proctor, Martin, Richard, Knipple? I don't think I'm going to stay, again, in the favorites. If you're going to pick an MVP, pick a longer shot, have more fun, get the bragging rights if you actually hit it.
If I tell you this, if I hit the Malawatch bet, I'm getting me a jersey on eBay. I might even get a signed one if he has a signed one out there. Probably cost me about $37 for the signature, but I'm on it.
Okay, if you win, here's the thing then. All right, as to wrap up the show, if that actually happens, not only do you have to buy it, I will frame it for you, and it has to go somewhere in your house.
Go above my bed, man. It's going above my bed. That's a lotto ticket. It's a lotto ticket, baby. 1 to win 11. Come on. Wife will never understand.
Wife will love that. Right above the bed.
She won't understand 1 minute of it, but it'll be between you and me. We'll have a great time with it.
And everybody that watches this show. So we appreciate all those that have tuned in for our NCAA March Madness shows, from the round of 64 to the Sweet 16 to the Final Four, and now we're finally here to the championship. So we've given you our play.
Sad.
Yeah, I
love
know.
I don't want to get it away. Anyway.
It sucks. But he's got Duke. I got Florida. He's got Paige Beckers and UConn in the women's Final Four. So go make that money this weekend, and then we will see you for the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, and I don't know, we might even try some Masters and some golf while we're at it too, because we do have some professionals and specialists behind the scenes that are good at all this analytic stuff. We're just your hosts. So for Brad Shoulders, I'm Trevor Lutke. Good luck and enjoy the Final Four. See ya.
See ya, baby.
All right.